Namaste, hello dream weavers out there, and welcome to our Monday Flow together. Thanks for joining me. So today we're going to be expanding, trying to take up some room, and then maybe a little bit of a kind of small soft tug in both directions to find width and space, and uplift in the chest to really sprout and open the heart. We're also going to do a few kind of expressive repetitions to get in touch with our more emotional, creative side and away from that sort of stagnant, locked up side that we can sometimes get into from a bit too much work. So we're kind of stepping into a softer space, softer and more expressive. So as always, do take care of yourselves. When in doubt, take rest. I'm going to give you as many options as possible, and if something doesn't feel quite right, just come slightly out of it or completely out of it to lie down. I'll never know. Today is a kind of medium strength flow. We'll definitely be doing a few dynamic poses, but everything will be steady and grounded and mindful. So whenever you're ready, coming to your feet, coming to the front of your mat with your device in front of you to find your palm tree pose, your standing pose. So I'm just going to face you for a minute. I'm just going to lift the toes and just land every one. And then just feeling that you're pulling up through the centers of the feet via those engaged arches of the feet. Hands nice and heavy to your sides, maybe a little shake to remind your shoulders that they can come down if they're sliding up towards the ears habitually. And then just taking a breath in through the nose, feel that coming through the center of the forehead and up to the crown. And then we're just gonna release that from the mouth, empty it out. And then you might close the eyes, bring stillness into the arms. Inhale, imagine your breath kind of moving through the nose, through the forehead and up to the crown. And then exhaling from the mouth. And we're going to do that one last time, maybe with a bit more sound. Big breath in. And then closing the mouth, so we're using more internal breath. And through internal breathing, also just feeling out the space behind your closed eyes, taking a little bit of a measure of those inner experiences and sensations. What are we bringing with us to the mat? How deep is the breath? Can we stand a little taller, feel a bit freer and more energized already through our standing pose? Left hand to the upper chest, right hand on top of that. Spread the fingertips and just take your chin towards your chest. Feel like just by leaning and looking towards your heart space, maybe you are in closer contact with what your center really has to say, catching up on ourselves a bit if we've been in a bit of a pool of distractions. Inhale, start to bring up your chin. As we exhale, we're going to send both hands out almost on a lake surface in front of you, spreading the fingertips. And then just flip your left palm. So I'm going to mirror you here. So just flipping your left palm and just turning the fingertips down. We're going to take your right hand and just take a little forearm stretch, breathing in and breathing out of the mouth. And we'll do that one more time. This time stick out the tongue a little bit, make the eyeballs nice and big. Big breath in, big breath out. Okay, release, shake it out. And then bring those hands forwards. Feel the shoulders nicely set apart. We're going to flip the other palm. Turn the fingertips down And take hold of that with the left hand. Inhale to stretch the forearm, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then more of a lion's breath with the tongue sticking out, eyeballs wide, inhaling. And then shake it out. Inhaling, bring your hands to interlace and bend the elbows outwards, tipping your chin towards the chest, feel your shoulders nice and broad. So as if we could almost hang on to a ladle here to stir, we're just going to take those hands around towards your left and then just feed a nice big circle through the arms. So that maybe we're finding something in between during those movements that might be ordinarily hard to find in your deep stretches. And then just coming through, stirring that towards your left. And then just changing direction. And feel like maybe the head gets involved. Maybe on your way up, you're slightly lifting the nose, gently, gently. Becomes a bit more individual. Last breath. As the hands come back into center in front of you, we're just going to lift the chin, bring the hands up and overhead, and take them behind your head with the thumbs a little bit freed up around the neck. As we inhale, lift and open the elbow tips so you're leaning back in the hands. We're trying to lift the heart up and forwards. Exhale, bring those elbow tips to shoulder distance apart and bring a little bit of weight from the hands to the back of the head to stretch down your back. Inhale, lift your nose, everything level now through the spine. We're going to lift your left elbow tip as you bend into both knees. And you're going to just swing your hips towards your right side. Feel a little bit of the side body open. And then exhale, swing the hip center, the chest center, and come to the other side. So the hip comes towards the same side elbow. Exhaling, releasing, coming center. Stand tall, release your hands all the way forwards in front of you. I'm just going to take palm to palm. So just feeling a little bit of activity through the arms here. We're just going to keep these arms connected but sliding. So we're just going to take your left hand down your right arm and out towards your right side. And then bring your hands together in front of you. Hands and arms are still connected. And then take that down towards your left side. So we're just kind of sliding around, feeling this little twist in the torso. Just find one or two more. Opening the chest. And coming back. Let's take one last movement to the side and come into the center. As we exhale, start to bring the hands towards your chest, shoulders wrap back and down. We're going to lift your left foot, step back to find your high lunge. So we're going to bring your feet both facing the front of the mat, and you might be taking quite a deep step back. Finding your center of gravity, feeling your stretch across the left hip. Inhale, bring those hands up and overhead, separating the hands to shoulder distance apart and bringing your shoulders down to kind of lean a little back into the chest. Strengthening your right thigh. Big breath in, big breath out. We're going to take another couple of breaths here. Hands coming down on the shoulders. We're going to bring the elbow tips in, up, back and round. Just a couple of times, just freeing up those shoulders. And then bring your left hand forward, your right hand back. Find a little twist on this lunge. Big breath in, big breath out. We're going to take one more breath nice and tall through your neck and crown, soft through the jaw. Inhale, draw your right hand to come and meet your left. Inhale, we're going to slide your left hand back as we land your left heel to your warrior two. Hands face down. We're on that leg surface again, so the hands are soft and level. There's a little equal power through the arms, so just take a moment to reach in both directions. And then set yourself nice and still, making sure your front knee aligns over the front ankle but not beyond. So if you need to, take the knee slightly back or move your right foot forwards. Inhale, feeling that left hip stretch, the right groin stretch. Inhale, exhale. Eyes at eye level ahead for you, nice and soft across the front fingertips. So we're going to start to feel the warmth, the center of our body, and feel the intention of your stretch. So we're bringing your right elbow down to the right thigh. We're stretching your left arm up and out of your left foot. So the idea is to reach away from your back foot to expand out through the side. Again, we're breathing as deeply as possible, keeping the jaw as soft as possible. So from that forwards reach, start to press into your right thigh, move your right arm back, find your reverse warrior, right hand coming out of your right hip upwards. So finding where the intention of the direction is, up and maybe back as well. Shoulders set down from the ears, take another full breath. Coming from that leaning momentum, come forwards. We're going to lean on the right thigh just one more moment, just to set ourselves up, fingertips engaged inside your right foot, kind of towards the left top corner of the mat as your head drops. The thighs are still working. You might feel your right glute slightly more, head is heavy and soft. Inhale, start to walk your hands back towards the center of the mat as you flip your right foot to the left. So we're in our side pose, Prasarita. Take a little bend in your left knee and move your hands a little further towards the back of your mat. So you're stretching your right groin, right hip. If you feel comfortable to come further, you might be sitting on that left heel with the right toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Again, just taking support from the floor in Skandasana. Don't feel you have to come further though. Take another 2 breaths. Feeling the stretch coming back into the left leg. Inhale, start to move your hands into the center of the mat. Feet aligned with the top and bottom of the mat again. Left hand underneath your chest on the floor. If you need a block or a book here to keep yourself feeling level through your back, please take it. We're going to inhale, lift your right arm. So you could stop halfway in line with the hips and chest. You could reach all the way up and behind you to twist. Or if you're coming with me into the deepest position here, we're wrapping the right hand around the back of the waist to clip into your left side. Strengthening the back, bringing your crown forwards rather than thinking of it as upwards movement through the chest. We're taking another 2 breaths, inhaling, strengthening the knees, the arches of the feet, exhaling, last breath. Exhale, start to release that right hand and we're just moving away from your device one last time. So look towards your left foot and walk your hands towards that, this time not bending the knee. Straightening both legs a little. You can always micro bend the knees rather than locking them. We might take hold of the ankle or shin with both hands if you're making it there without too much trouble, but no need to come further than the ground here. Exhale, start to release. Walk towards your right foot, so towards your device. We're going to step both feet back and find your way to your shins. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhale, start to walk yourself up so you're sitting on your shins. And then just setting your knees at hips distance apart here and deciding whether your knees are okay on your floor. Because if you've got a really hard floor, you might double your mat here. Inhale, we're just going to bring your hands facing forwards as we lift up onto the shins. As we exhale, we're draping your elbows either side of you, hands nice and soft to sit back down. And then just find some expression there in the shoulders. Most of your shoulders are reaching you up and forwards. And then exhale, the chest is releasing as the elbows come down. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, release. And just one more time, big breath in. And exhale. Inhale. Find your way forwards to your table this time. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Nice level line through the neck and head. Tucking the toes, engage the shoulders, press the ground away. We're going to lift and find that down dog. Let's take quite a generous, luxurious pedaling movement. One heel comes down, we lift the sit bones, and then the other heel comes down, we lift the sit bones. And we'll just take a wriggle into your own space. The head nice and heavy. Remind it to be soft, maybe with a little shake, a no shake, side to side, and a little yes nod. And then softly come into stillness. It doesn't matter if the knees are bent generously or finding their way towards straightened. 2 more full breaths here. Maybe getting in touch with that Ujjayi sound. Full breath in, looking ahead to the hands, lifting to tiptoes. And then stepping or jumping your way to the front of the mat. Feet at hips distance apart to fall down nice and heavy. So in your forwards fold today, you might take a little bend in the knees, drop the head and just release the arms, or we can take one hand to each opposite elbow and add a little bit more weight into that downward shift. We're taking that expressive breath again in through the nose and out the mouth. Bouncing it out and a little side to side. Releasing your hands towards the ground, take a big bend in the knees before pushing into the ground to roll up. So the hands are nice and heavy, your hips almost squeeze together. We align and then we stack each little vertebrae all the way up to the crown, shoulders wrap back and down. Big breath in, rise the fingertips up to your sides. Exhale, turn the palms face out and lower your shoulders like a corkscrew, rising your head out of those shoulder blades. And we'll just do that one more time. Big breath in. And turning your palms face out. Exhale, rise the crown. This time bring those arms up and together above you for prayer position. All the way down towards your chest. Take a moment here, stillness. Feel any little new sensations in the feet, in the chest, reminding the face to be soft. So we're going to start to rise your right foot. Step it, nice big step towards the back of the mat. Both feet are parallel facing forwards in your high lunge. So we are using a little stretch on the toes, so try not to resist that stretch. We're coming into a low center of gravity here and just sort of assessing whether we need to shuffle the feet a little further apart to set the knee right above the ankle joint. Low center of gravity, already feeling that right hip stretch, strong knees. Hands towards the shoulder blades. We're just going to take a nice big wrap. Elbows together and up and open. And then just one more time. Inhale, we're going to take your left arm back, your right hand forward, finding your twist for a moment. Big breath in, big breath out. One more breath, really feel like you're twisting from your middle to wring out anything stale. New neighbors, inhale, bring your left hand towards your right hand, and we're going to slide your right hand back until you find your warrior two. Landing that right heel about 90-degree angle, front foot faces directly forwards. Exhale, settling in, making sure your hands feel soft and level on that leg surface, low shoulders and equal power through the arm with a little reach here and there. settling in, making sure the left side of that left foot is landing, not allowing your left knee to drag inwards. We want to allow it that bit of space in the hip, even if it means coming a little out of bend. Take another 2 breaths. Feeling our center, we're going to inhale, expand forwards through the right side of the body as we bring the left elbow down to Parsvakonasana, reaching your fingertips away, broad through your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale. Feel the momentum pushing back from your front foot as we lift the left hand upwards. In reverse warrior and maybe a little bit back. Listening to your back, you can always come back to that direct right angle. Feel a push from your back foot forwards. Inhale, coming back to Parsvakonasana, and then just bringing and setting yourself up on fingertips, wrists off the ground, chest reaching towards your right top corner of the mat as you drape the chest down. Feel that nice draining of the head with that nice heavy drop. Inhale, start to walk your hands into the center of your mat, spinning your left foot towards the side. I'm going to take just a little groin stretch, bending your right knee, feeling that left inner thigh stretch. As before, you can stay there, that's already quite strong. You might come down and sit on your right heel, turning your left toes towards the ceiling if you feel more comfortable and that left knee feels okay. Making sure that you're not locking that knee even though the knee is off the ground, so you're not completely locking. Tiny bit of energy through the left knee. One more breath. So I'm facing the same direction as you now as we come back to our sideways facing pose. Bring your right hand under your chest on the ground or on a book or a couple of books if you need a bit more height. Strengthening your back, strengthening both knees. Inhale, we're just looking towards the left side of the mat. You might be bringing your left hand in line with your hips here, or bringing that a little bit higher. Option to really wrap the back of that left hand around the right side of the waist. Make sure that your crown is still pressing forward, so we're not allowing ourselves to dip down or scrunch anything. There's still expansion forward through the crown as we rotate. Inhale, start to unravel that left hand. If you need to watch before moving, that's fine. We're going to move away from your device towards your right foot with both hands. This time the legs are straightened to feel a nice diagonal hamstring stretch. If you're making it there easily, you can come with me. We might take the ankle or the shin here with both hands. Last big breath. Inhale, start to release, walk yourself towards your left foot. We're stepping back to plank position for a moment. Find your plank, so shoulders over the wrists. You might actually land the knees if you're in a more chilled out mood, open frame for the shoulders. If you're with me on your full plank, bum is in line with heels and shoulders. We might untuck the toes today, so you're getting a stretch on the tops of the feet. More work for the shoulder blades, the core, or retuck the toes. Last breath. Exhale, elbow tips in towards the ribs. We're going to find our way down to the belly from wherever you are. Hands underneath your shoulders, toes untucked. You're going to come through a little half cobra. Pushing the hands into the ground under the shoulders to lift the chest. Then lift the hips. Then come back over tucked toes, lengthening your spine. So your hands stay pretty much where they are as we round out your spine, coming through a cat's pose. So a nice Halloween cat as you lift up to tabletop and then exhale back to the ground. Hands under the shoulders, toes untucked. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back over the heels, tucking the toes. Inhale, Halloween cat. Exhale down to your belly. We're going to take just one or two more of those repetitions. Feel like you're in your own body here. You're grooving to that like silent disco inside your head. You're in your own zone. As we come through Cobra and back to those tucked toes, deciding whether you'd like to keep that child's pose on tucked toes as in, lift the wrists onto a half puppy dog, or land the palms, come up to your tabletop and send your hands even further away for a full heart melting pose. So hands are at shoulder distance apart, palms are landed or wrists are lifted. And we're going to drape your chest in between the arms with the elbows kind of staying off the ground. This can be quite strong. Do feel free to land the palms again. Or slide back towards your bum to heels. Take another 2 breaths, feeling that you're thawing out that heart space. Exhale, let's untuck the toes and slide back to child's pose. Bring your elbow tips wide, one hand on top of the other for a little cushion for your forehead. Nice long neutral line through the neck. So when you're ready, keeping a nice mellow gaze through the eyes, we'll come through tabletop to find your feet underneath you or around to the side to find your sit bones. And shuffle into center of the mat. Crossing the legs, any way that feels natural. Inhale to lift through the crown. Exhale to bring your right hand towards your left knee. Rise up through that crown and move around into a sitting twist. Shoulder behind you. Chest is lifting. Take another deep breath with the shoulders rolling down from the ears. Inhale, start to rotate. Come center for a moment and just exchange which leg is under which. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling, rotate. Left hand to the right knee. Inhale to lift the crown. Move around more deeply, shoulders down from the ears. Big breath in. Big breath out to come center. Bring the knees up. Set the feet at hips distance apart and just take a little rise, holding onto your shins. Full breath in. We're going to round out the spine. Roll down towards the ground on semi-supine, picking up the shins on your way down. Slide your hands towards the insides of those feet. If you prefer, some people prefer their happy baby pose on the outer edge of the feet. You could try either. We're going to inhale here and rise your feet. So as if your feet were planted on the ceiling. So that's the direction of the heels. Feet flat to the sky. Full breath in. You're bringing your knees slightly wide of your chest. Elbow tips are aiming for your knee tips are aiming for your elbow tips. And then maybe a little bit wider. Some people like to rock here or stretch the feet gently outwards and come back into bend a couple of times. Make sure the small of your back is starting to really ground. Your shoulder blades are spreading so the back of the heart is getting some space. Take one more deep breath to really expand outwards through the heels. And then release, taking a soft bend in both knees to collect the shins towards you. Good. So we're going to cross the ankles from where you are. And just find the tops of your feet with both hands. Just bringing a little stretch of your toes, and tops of the feet. Bring your toes towards you. Breathing in, landing the back. Breathing out. Inhale, release the feet and cross the ankles the other way if you can remember. Find the tops of the feet with each hand. And just stretch out the tops of the feet and toes. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, release. Give your shins a squeeze. And then send the feet and hands into the air to rotate every muscle. Wriggling the fingers, wriggling the toes. Give yourself one last deep breath in. And then melt from the knees and elbows, so both knees and elbows bend. Coming all the way out into your Shavasana. Feeling a little tingle at the soles of the feet and the palms. Soften out the jaw muscle, breathing deeply in and out. Settle the space behind your closed eyes for a moment. Feel like you're just experiencing your breath. You don't have to manage your breath. And like you're experiencing sensation, you don't have to try to push to feel. And as we take just a few moments of quiet here, just letting your body just sing in all those little places that we've opened. So we're very gently and slowly going to imagine scooping together our awareness. Feeling that moving with our breath towards our center and then spreading out towards every toe tip, every fingertip, crown of the head, the third eye, and then the heart. Feel your breath move into your body, giving you that tiny bit of energy, space, uplift. And rinsing the breath out to release anything stale. And then again, invite in some uplift and presence. And release and let go. We'll take just one more breath like that in. And out. Let's wriggle the fingers and toes away. Gently bring your knees towards you. Give yourself a little squeeze, maybe a circle across your kneecaps. And then make your way over to your left side in a little bundle on the ground. Find your way gently up to cross legs. You can keep your eyes closed as you're finding that. Have a little fumble around. Shift the hips level. Lengthen up through that crown again. We'll bring your prayer position towards your chest. Nice and firm. Landing your thumbs towards the heartbeat. Just taking a couple of moments here to feel connected at that center. Thumbs towards the third eye, honoring your intention. Taking a bow here to yourself, to your practice. Namaste. Thanks so much for joining me and wishing you a nice, peaceful Monday. And I hope to see you either at online class or just in real life soon. Namaste. Thanks so much.